It was a typical Monday morning at Pinnacle Solutions, a sleek tech company headquartered in Chicago's bustling downtown. The office hummed with the usual rhythm, keyboards clacking, phones buzzing, and the faint aroma of coffee wafting through the open-plan workspace. Employees darted between glass-walled meeting rooms, their conversations filled with jargon about market trends and product launches. At the top of the company sat Ethan Caldwell, the CEO, a man known for his sharp intellect and relentless drive. But that morning, something unexpected was about to shift the trajectory of Pinnacle Solutions forever. Ethan, striding through the office, overheard a janitor named Samuel Torres speaking fluently in 9 languages, a discovery that would lead to a decision so bold it left the entire office in awe. Samuel Torres had worked at Pinnacle Solutions for 3 years. At 42, he was a quiet, unassuming figure who arrived each evening at 6 p.m., when most employees were packing up to leave. With his graying hair and worn Navy uniform, he blended into the background, pushing his cleaning cart through the office, emptying trash bins and wiping down desks. Few employees noticed him, and fewer still spoke to him. Samuel didn't mind. He kept his head down, did his job, and left before the early risers arrived. But what no one at Pinnacle knew was that Samuel carried a secret. He was fluent in 9 languages, a skill honed over decades of travel, study, and survival. Ethan Caldwell, on the other hand, was the kind of leader who noticed details. At 38, he had built Pinnacle Solutions into a powerhouse in the tech industry, specializing in AI-driven language processing software. His days were packed with meetings, investor calls, and strategic planning sessions. That Monday, he was in the office earlier than usual, preparing for a critical pitch to a potential client in Dubai. The deal was worth millions, and Ethan was determined to secure it. As he walked through the office, reviewing notes on his tablet, he heard something that stopped him in his tracks. Samuel was cleaning the break room, speaking into his earbuds in rapid-fire Spanish. Ethan, who spoke conversational Spanish himself, paused, expecting a casual conversation. But then Samuel switched to French, then German, then what sounded like Mandarin. Ethan stood frozen, his tablet forgotten in his hand. Samuel's voice was steady, confident, as he moved effortlessly between languages: Arabic, Portuguese, Russian, Italian, and finally Japanese. 9 languages, each spoken with the fluency of a native. Ethan couldn't believe it. A janitor, someone who scrubbed floors and emptied trash, was wielding linguistic skills that rivaled the most seasoned diplomats. Ethan approached Samuel cautiously, not wanting to startle him. "Excuse me," he said, his voice cutting through the hum of the office. Samuel looked up, startled, and pulled out his earbuds. "I couldn't help but overhear. Were you just speaking multiple languages?" Samuel's face tightened, as if he'd been caught doing something wrong. He nodded slowly. "Yes, sir. I was on a call with some friends overseas." Ethan's curiosity deepened. "How many languages do you speak?" Samuel hesitated, then answered quietly. 9. The number hit Ethan like a thunderbolt. Pinnacle Solutions was in the business of language technology, yet here was a janitor who possessed a skill set that could put their top engineers to shame. Ethan's mind raced. The company was struggling to localize their AI software for global markets, particularly in regions with complex linguistic nuances. Could Samuel be the key to unlocking those challenges? He asked Samuel to meet him in his office after his shift. Samuel, unsure but respectful, agreed. In his office, Ethan sat across from Samuel, who looked out of place in the sleek, modern space. "Tell me about yourself," Ethan said, leaning forward. Samuel's story unraveled slowly. Born in Puerto Rico, he'd grown up in a bilingual household, speaking Spanish and English. His father, a merchant sailor, brought home books and tapes from ports around the world. By age 12, Samuel was teaching himself French and German. As a young man, he traveled through Europe and Asia, working odd jobs: bartender in Paris, tour guide in Tokyo, translator in Dubai. Each job added a new language to his repertoire. Financial struggles and family obligations brought him back to the U.S., where he took the janitorial job at Pinnacle to support his aging mother. Ethan listened, his mind buzzing with possibilities. Pinnacle's AI software relied on vast datasets of human speech to train its algorithms, but the company lacked native speakers for many languages. Translators were expensive, and freelancers often missed cultural nuances. Samuel's fluency could bridge that gap. But more than that, Ethan saw something else in Samuel, a quiet confidence, a mind sharpened by years of self-directed learning. He decided to take a risk. The next day, Ethan called an all-hands meeting. Employees filled the conference room, curious about the sudden gathering. Ethan stood at the front, his usual polished demeanor replaced with an air of excitement. "I want to introduce someone," he said, gesturing to Samuel, who stood awkwardly to the side, still in his janitor's uniform. Whispers rippled through the room. "This is Samuel Torres. He's been cleaning our offices for 3 years. What you don't know is that Samuel speaks 9 languages fluently: Spanish, English, French, German, Mandarin, Arabic, Portuguese, Russian, and Italian." The room went silent. Employees exchanged glances, unsure what to make of this. Ethan continued, "Starting today, Samuel will join our localization team as a linguistic consultant. His expertise will help us refine our AI models and expand into new markets. But more importantly, Samuel's presence reminds us that talent can come from anywhere. We're going to create a program to identify and nurture hidden talent within our company, starting with Samuel." The announcement hit the office like a shockwave. Some employees were skeptical, wondering if this was a publicity stunt. Others were inspired, seeing Samuel in a new light. Samuel himself was overwhelmed. He'd never imagined his skills, honed in private, would earn him a seat at the table. Ethan's decision wasn't just about Samuel. It was a signal to the entire company that potential wasn't tied to titles or credentials. Over the next few weeks, Samuel transitioned into his new role. He worked closely with the engineering team, providing insights into linguistic patterns and cultural contexts that the AI struggled to capture. His contributions were immediate. The Mandarin version of the software, previously riddled with errors, improved dramatically after Samuel identified subtle tonal mistakes. The Arabic module, which had baffled translators, gained clarity with his input on regional dialects. Clients noticed the difference, and Pinnacle's reputation grew. But Ethan's vision went beyond Samuel's contributions. He launched the Hidden Talent Initiative, a program encouraging employees to share skills they'd kept private, whether coding, design, or even public speaking. The initiative uncovered a wealth of abilities. A receptionist who was a gifted graphic designer, a sales rep fluent in Korean, a developer with a knack for writing. The office buzzed with a new energy, as employees felt seen in ways they hadn't before. Samuel's story spread beyond Pinnacle. Industry blogs picked it up, and soon reporters were calling to interview the janitor-turned-consultant. Ethan deflected the spotlight to Samuel, who handled the attention with quiet humility. "I just did what I loved," Samuel told one reporter. "I never thought it would lead to this." The story inspired other companies to look within their ranks, sparking a broader conversation about unrecognized talent in the workplace. For Ethan, the decision to elevate Samuel was a turning point. He realized that leadership wasn't just about driving profits, it was about seeing people. The Dubai deal closed successfully, thanks in part to Samuel's work on the Arabic localization. But more than the financial win, Ethan valued the shift in Pinnacle's culture. Employees collaborated more openly, and the office felt less like a hierarchy and more like a community. Samuel, now a full-time member of the localization team, found himself mentoring others. He shared his language learning techniques, encouraging colleagues to explore new skills. His presence became a symbol of possibility, a reminder that brilliance could hide in plain sight. The office, once stunned by Ethan's bold move, now embraced it as a defining moment in Pinnacle's history. As months passed, Pinnacle Solutions continued to grow, fueled by a culture that valued every voice. Samuel's 9 languages had unlocked not just new markets but a new way of thinking. Ethan's decision, born from a chance encounter, had transformed the company and left an indelible mark on everyone who witnessed it.